Hello.
Hello, Fletcher. Rowan from Silver Tiger Media. How are you?
All right, man.
Oh, mate,
You
it is such a thrill to hear your voice again. It's been so long. Thanks very much for your time today.
yes, no problem, man.
Where are you at the moment? Ready to ship out to the Ridge Rock Festival, I guess, at Virginia International Raceway?
Exactly. We're leaving tomorrow morning. We're playing Pittsburgh with Descendants and Bad Religion, a couple other bands. I actually can't remember the name of that festival right now. I'm going to get in trouble for that. But
Oh, not at all. The Blue
and then the
Ridge
day
Rock
off,
Festival.
the day after is the Blue Ridge. No, tomorrow's or Friday's the one. Oh, it's called Four Chords, I believe, in
Oh,
Pittsburgh.
right.
It's pretty cool. It's like basically all punk rock lineup, and then we get up at like 5 in the morning and fly over to Blue Ridge to play a little Slipknot show. So that'll be we'll be fish out of water there, but it'll be interesting. We'll have a good time for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we don't you? We've missed you so much down under, so it is sensational finally returning back to see us. And it feels like literally years and years and years since we've spoken from your home away from home. But with the Circle Jerks joining the party on this tour, this will be massive.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I mean, the fact that they've never been there is crazy. I mean, they have been broken up for like 12 years or something in their defense, but the fact they never got down there before is crazy. And I mean, there's a lot of great punk bands that have never made it down there. And I mean, obviously Pennywise loves Australia. So we're always telling people, get your ass down there and put in your time.
Absolutely.
And they will come out for you. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. We've toured with them before, and Keith's a genius of a human being, man. Keith Morris is hilarious, one of the best storytellers of all time. So we'll be hanging out backstage telling stories, and he'll be telling plenty of stories from the stage. I know, if I know him correctly. But yeah, it's going to be a great package, man. It's going to be crazy.
It will too. So
and we got, what do we got? So is it Civet that's, what is is it Civil, the opening act? Do you know? I can't remember the name of it right now. I know.
Look, it's jumped out of my head, Fletcher. It is
Civil,
and I'll look it up really, really quickly. It should be right on the tip of my tongue, but it's just not, unfortunately. You have Civic opening for you.
Yep, and they're great, man. I got to check them out as we were looking for openers, and their music rips. So that's going to be and they have a pretty good following as well. They're a pretty popular band. I know they're from Melbourne, I believe, and I think that's going to be a pretty wicked package for people to come out and have a couple cold beers and get crazy.
Absolutely. I had to double check because my brain is saying Honda. Of course, I was close with Civic.
I was like civil. I said Civet, but I think that's a band from America, all girl band. So they're definitely not Civet.
Indeed. Look, just briefly, while we're talking to Circle Jerks, they had 5 albums in circulation when Pennywise began a new chapter in the annals of punk rock history down in Hermosa Beach. What was their musical influence on you personally, or the band in the early Pennywise days?
Huge, because as most people know, we're from Hermosa Beach because we go around yelling it and screaming it everywhere. And the reason we do that is because Hermosa Beach was the home of Black Flag, the Descendants, Circle Jerks, Red Cross, Toxic Shock. The Last was like another local legend band. And even the Germs hung around down here a bit. But the crazy thing is, Keith Morris, singer of Circle Jerks, was the original singer for Black Flag. And my favorite Black Flag record is the Nervous Breakdown single, which he sang on. And so as a kid in 1980, getting into punk rock and listening, obviously you're going to be listening to the band that's playing down the street because everyone's talking about them. And, that was Black Flag. And then shortly after, here comes the Circle Jerks with Group Sex, which just is an amazing fucking record, top to bottom. It's like unbelievably written. The music is just off the charts, like crazy energetic music. The lyrical content, it was just one of those records you just go, I can get on this train right now and ride it. So being able to go to those shows as a kid, like 14, 15 years old, going to see Circle Jerks and Black Flag and all this stuff was hugely influential. Like that was where I was like, I want to play in a band. Like I want to be like those guys. And I picked up a guitar immediately and started playing and started a band. And, then the whole punk rock scene kind of died away for a minute. It was hard to get shows because there was riots all the time, and bands started breaking up. And I was like, well, better do something to fill the void, and got the idea to start Pennywise and put that together. And then, years later, we wound up playing with the Circle Jerks, and even years even after that, we wound up playing with Black Flag or Flag, whatever you want to call it. But to be able to start a band, work hard for years and years, and then be able to play with concerts with your heroes is like one of those things that you see in movies. It's like you're like awestruck at the same time, grateful, humbled, and just stoked beyond belief. So it's been a crazy ride, and we're like honored to share the stage with them anytime we share the stage. We just played with them 2 weeks ago, and it was just fucking awesome. They're just good people, and their music is unbelievably good. So Oz is stoked.
Absolutely. And you remind me of a favorite pastime of walking from Manhattan Beach up to Hermosa Beach and just cranking all of those tunes. And as soon as you mentioned their first album, I called World Up My Ass just jumped straight into my head.
Oh, dude. I mean, that record is so unbelievably, every song's a punk rock hit, and they're relatable. Their lyrics were a little bit more relatable than a lot of bands to me, than other bands. I mean, I loved all those bands, but Circle Jerks, like the communication through their song was just like, oh, yep, I get this. I'm World Up My Ass and deny everything, and live fast, die young, and it's just it's all good shit.
And it's what this package is all about, really, with your tour coming up. I mean, after all the lockdowns, the COVID, the isolation and shit, I mean, there are a few things that have dragged us all through. The thought of Randy playing the bass intro to Bro Him as we celebrate and remember Jason, or we all raise our pent-up frustrations with fuck authority, or the young ones in the crowd explode with their contemporary Pennywise birthright with Never Gonna Die. I mean, the thought of this brings chills to my skin, but that's me. How are you feeling about the tour and coming back?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. It's Oz never disappoints. We know that. I've always said it reminds me of California in the late 70s, early 80s, where it was just a little bit more laid back and more of a friendly party vibe. And California's become overrun with people that just, I would say, are not my type of people, and they come in here and they're rich and they throw their money around, and they look at you like there's something wrong with you because you got tattoos and you're cranking Black Flag out your car window. And it's like, fuck you. I was here, 40 years ago. Well, actually 50 years ago. So fuck off. But
absolutely.
Yeah, it's just going to be the people down there. Our fans are so fucking loyal. They've been with us for so long. I mean, obviously it's the only place in the world where we have gold records, and we got 3 of them down there.
Yep.
Which is pretty incredible. And to just, the energy is going to be off the charts. Circle Jerks first time, I bet you there's a lot of people that have never, well, obviously have never seen the Circle Jerks unless they've come to America or somewhere else. But the fact that somebody that might have been a Circle Jerks fan for 40 years now, that's been waiting 4 years, they're gonna have a good fucking time. So I think it's gonna be crazy. I think Broham, I know we've all lost people during COVID. I'm sure there's people in Australia that have lost loved ones, family members. So I think Broham's going to be pretty emotional, because I think if you're out there partying and trying to remember, a relative or a friend or something that might have passed away, I think it's going to be pretty charged. So it's going to be a good night. There's a lot of good things that are going to be happening. So it's going to be fun.
Absolutely. Indeed. And the thought to me of the thoughts back to the movies like Repo Man, and to hear Coup d'etat pumped out live is going to set the scene sensationally. But with COVID out of the way now, Fletcher, and I feel like Never Gonna Die is having a second wind. That really is having almost a second birth. Are you feeling the same way as you're playing tracks from that album live, that album is really having a second resurgence?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, the cool thing about what's been going on is there's a lot of young kids stepping into like you mentioned, stepping into the punk rock world. And, to me, there's not a lot. I mean, there's a lot of punk bands, don't get me wrong, that are coming up, but the atmosphere is different in the way bands are built up and discovered. And where you got somebody like Turnstile, who is one of my favorite records of the year. They're not claiming to be punk rock, they're claiming to be like, I don't even know, like they want to play rap shows and this kind of stuff. So if you're a kid getting into punk rock, you're probably going to get directed towards Offspring or Bad Religion, Social Distortion, Rancid, whatever, Pennywise. And when you start digging around, you're going to, if you heard about Bad Religion, then you're going to hear about Pennywise and Offspring. If you heard about Offspring, you're going to hear about Pennywise. So you got this whole new genre of kids coming around, and it's like that record's fresh, so you're going to hear about that record. So it seems like the younger kids are really receiving them. The record did well with all of our old time fans. So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to playing a couple songs off of it and having some fun. But it definitely feels like it's a hit when you come out and play those songs and the crowd's singing them back. You're like, okay, we did something right with that one. So
indeed, you're putting goosebumps on my skin, my brother. The fact is, I'm going to be cranked all day. Just the thought of you coming back again. I don't know if you can see those images behind me from the 2018 tour at Download, but just the thought of you coming back and with Circle Jerks is just going to have me pumped the entire day.
It's going to be off the hook.
Indeed. So if you would give it to me straight, mate, just you, me, and the rest of the world. You've looked out at the young faces in recent years, the new generations of Pennywise fans. Does it ever jump into your head on stage and you go, fuck, I'm old. I've been doing this for so long.
Nope, never. It's weird. I think, I don't know what it is. I mean, I think if you talk to any musician that's had a decently successful career, I think they'll all say that it keeps them young. And it's because you're not living a normal life. Like you're living the life of a fucking teenager. Like, back when you went to work 8 hours, 10 hours a day, and, Friday night you took your paycheck and went to the bar. And then, by Monday morning, your paycheck was gone and you had a hangover. Like that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's like every day for me of my life. So, as you get older and you get more responsible and you get, different things put in your plate, I think, being able to go on tour, it just allows you to be a different type of person because for us, not every band, but for us, we're definitely out there partying and we're definitely having a couple beers and hitting the bars after the shows a lot of times and hanging out with fans. And I think, that keeps you young. So, my body tells me you're old and fucking broken, but my mind doesn't tell me that. And my last girlfriend told me that I never developed past the age 14. And I was like, well, what's wrong with that? That's like a good thing, right? Like who wants to be an adult and pay taxes and punch a time clock? So I feel like the choice I made to like stay out of the professional world, so to speak, and go down the music rabbit hole and pursue my dreams, I think that was the right choice because it's allowed me like a life of freedom and traveling, meeting fucking cool people all over the world, having friends all over the world, and not really having to grow up. So I can relate with a 16-year-old way easier, a 16, 18, 20-year-old way easier than I can relate to a 50-year-old. Like it's crazy. Like if I get around a room or a party with 50-year-olds, I don't even feel normal. Like I just went to a birthday party recently and I was like, man, what's up with all these old people? And like I'm like, shit, I guess I'm one of them, but like I don't feel right. Like I just don't feel right around those people. Of course, like some of them are my friends and they're cool, but I definitely relate to hanging out with younger kids and just fucking around and just being part of that for some reason. I always have. So yeah, no, I'm not feeling old other than, broken bones and achy joints. Other than that, I'm good. And that hour on stage always, I think, kills all the pain. It's like being a basketball player or an athlete in a weird way. Like you go out, you play the game, and after the game, you limp off the stage. But during that, that 1 hour, it's kind of like it all falls away and you're just caught in the adrenaline and the energy of the crowd and the songs. And it's like tranquility slash medicine in a weird way, right? So lucky to do what we do.
I'm so glad to hear that. But I've got to thank you as well, because I'm all sort of dressed up to go and play the normal part in the normal world just to provide for the family. And you get that look, as you say, when the tattoos sort of start to come out from under the suit, people start the judging, but they don't know I've got goodbye bad times cranking in my head, looking forward to you guys coming out here and delivering again. So thank you, Fletcher, and thank you, Pennywise.
Yeah. You still get your Friday, Saturday, Sundays, you know. You can go into work on Monday hungover, but you know, I just get to do it every day. So yeah, we'll see you there. Have a couple cold ones and get in the mosh pit of the front row, and let's have some fun.
Magnificent. So the first show at the Chelsea Heights Hotel on Saturday the 17th is already sold out, and it's not going to be the only sold out show. Fletcher, thank you so much for your time today. Can't wait to see you and hang with you, and I can't wait to chase a cold beer with you. That'll be great. Take care, my friend. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right, buddy. See ya.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Go.